Ladies and gentlemen, do not adjust your set. I am Hitman Cos. Welcome to another story where this one honestly came like earlier in the week. Now, let me preface this by saying I've made some pretty stupid mistakes in my life. I've done some pretty dumb things, but I think this might have really taken the cake. So, anyway, so here's how it goes. When at my job, like pretty much any job, you know, you have the option of either getting direct deposit or getting a paper check. And me, I prefer to get in a paper check just because I'm a stubborn bastard. Plus, you know, where I go to get it cashed, you know, is honestly it's worth the trip. It also gives me an excuse to use my headphones. So yeah. Anyways, what happened this particular time was that I was completely broke, and this situation couldn't have happened at a much worse time. Because what I usually do, because the checks normally come in on Fridays, and I never work on Friday. I always work on Saturday. So this works perfectly. So, you know, I go in, it's already in there. I ain't gotta wait all day Friday or whatever for them to come in, you know. So get in, do my job, get out, collect my check, and be on my way. But what tends to happen on holiday weekends is that the checks get delayed, and they don't come until the following week, or just a couple of days later. And if not that, then yeah. But this particular case has no excuse because there was no holiday. They didn't come in. And like I said, this couldn't have come at a worse time because I was broke. No money to speak of at all. So, you know, with just barely enough money to go to work and shit, I was able, you know, I toughed that out. Then, but you know, once Monday rolled around, I needed to get my check because I needed to get my money. But unfortunately, I have no mode of transportation, and with no money, I couldn't take the bus in time to get there and get it. So I waited till my brother-in-law got home, and he took me to go get it. Only problem was, by the time we went there to get it, the check cashier's place that I normally go to was closed. And I know what you're thinking. Why don't you go to the bank? Well, it's because unfortunately, there's an issue with my account in the bank that they still are too fucking lazy to fix. So, not even one. That's why I got my check cashed, and then, you know, I just deposit the money. Anyways, so because I knew I couldn't wait the week, after I got the check, I look online and apparently CVS cashes checks, and there was a CVS that's just around, literally a hop, skip, and a jump away from my house, literally just right around the corner. I go in there. Now, I called ahead. Well, I tried to call ahead, and that led nowhere. So then I was like, "Fuck it! I'll just go in person." And then that's when they told me straight up that they don't. Now at that point, I've run out of all patience. So I just decided to keep walking. And then for the love of me, I'm still trying to figure this out myself. Where instead of just turning back and going home and just thinking and just trying to figure out to do something the following day, instead I think of the brilliant idea of going to going to a store, well, going to a Walmart to get it done, to take care of this. Now, granted, cashing my check on Walmart is a lot better than a regular check cashing store, because they only take $1 away compared to a check cashing store where they take like maybe $3, $4, even $5 away. You know, depending on how much the check is for. Anyways, the problem is there is no check cashing place in the town that I live in. And the closest one is over 5 miles away, over a highway, and past the park, over several highways. You know. And I was like, fuck it, I don't care, I'm gonna still do it. So yeah, I went and I was walking. I was walking over bridges. I was walking down a highway. I was walking on a parkway, just with the full intention of doing this. And honestly, I wasn't thinking of nothing else. I had my headphones in, music playing, I was good. Only problem was my phone was close to dying. Like, it was literally, like, when I last checked it, it was at like 18%. So it was close to dying. So at that point, I was like, damn. So I was thinking, try and go to the nearest town, just go to a gas station somewhere and call for a ride. You know, call for a family member to give me a ride. Yeah. And you know, but for some reason I didn't even do that. I just kept walking for some reason. And what really sucked about this was that I missed Raw. But I knew I was gonna miss Raw. So I was like, fuck it, I'll catch a replay later. But anyways, my little adventure comes to an end because, number one, I didn't make it on foot because while I was still walking on the parkway, I got stopped by a state trooper. Turns out that while I was walking, in which I should have seen this coming, a couple of people that were obviously driving cars called the cops on me. As concerned citizens seeing somebody walking along a parkway. Turns out what I didn't know is that you can't walk along a parkway or a highway. So I remained calm. I told the officer the situation. He believed me, and he offered to drive me there. And the funny thing is, while we were driving on the way there, we came to the horrible realization that, number one, I was not going to make it there in time before the store closed. And even after he dropped me off, the biggest kicker of it is that by the time I got there, I was too late. Because there was a cutoff of what time they would cash checks until. And I was literally 20 minutes too late. So now I was stuck several cities over, away from home. No money, no way of getting home, nothing. So then I called my brother-in-law, tell him the situation. He's now mad at me. Well, more like annoyed at me. And at first, he was gonna get his son to cash out me the money. My cousin. And he was gonna, cash out me some money to go home. But instead, my cousin, his son, pulls up and picks me up and takes me home. And I explained the whole situation to him. And he once again feeds me the whole just get a car thing and how quick I could have got everything done. And yeah, I know he, even though he's right, I'm very, very hard-headed. So I'm not gonna do that. Here's the whole kicker of it all. Sure, I still made it to Walmart, but I didn't get my check cashed. I still had no money on me, so I pretty much walked all that way, got stopped by a state trooper, all for nothing. Nothing. And to make it even funnier, the following day I was barely able to scrape some coins together to get on the bus, and I was still able to cash my check. And the only difference being was that I actually I waited, in the morning to go where I needed to go to. Got my check cashed. Then after I got my check cashed, I did some much needed grocery shopping, got everything else I needed done, paid the bills I needed to be paid, and everything was straight. So honestly, lesson learned. I will never do that again. I don't care how bad the situation is. No situation is worth going all the way, doing all that crap just for nothing. Knowing that a much easier solution could be done if I could just remain patient and wait until the next day. And it's funny because I'm always the person that tries to express the phrase "patience is a virtue," but unfortunately, I clearly didn't practice what I preach. But hey, that's a lesson learned. But here's the funniest thing of all this, and I know I'm rambling, but here's the funniest thing about all this is that this actually could have been prevented even further because one of my friends, 007, y'all know her. If I told her all of this, she'd be so mad at me because she's the kind of person that if you are her people, she has your back for life. And if you need help, she will always be there to help you. And if I told her the situation, she would have helped me. But here's also the kicker. If I'm in a situation where I could use her help, but I don't ask for it, she'll get mad at me for not asking for her help. Then she's gonna chastise me for making the choices that I made. Granted, after everything that happened, I did deserve it, but still. But yeah. Anyways, that's gonna do it for this video, ladies and gentlemen. I definitely want to thank each and every one of y'all for taking the time out of your busy schedule to come and chill with your boy. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead, hit the like button. Comment if you feel like it. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video. And as always, Struggle Vision Productions, I am the Hitman Cos. And if you see me coming, run.